Hello, everybody. Welcome back, where we talk about Korean people and culture, what's happening in Korea at the moment, social events, phenomenons, trends, K-pop, culture, entertainment, all of that. So, we have a lot of news to cover today. As you can see in the title, we're going to be talking about BTS in Mexico totally just dominating and conquering and being kings and having the most I celebrated um audience ever. It was just very touching to see the whole scene. But yeah, we're gonna go through that. But before we get into the hottest news, we will definitely dive into other stories as well, such as the Magic Pass drama that's happening. It's a very big issue in Korea, a controversy going on that went up to even the president. People are petitioning and people are fighting, saying that it's dumb. You probably don't know what I'm talking about right now when I'm talking about a magic pass. You can take your own guesses, but yeah, that's going to be one story. And on top of that, we also have another story related to, aren't you curious what it is? Korea's trend chasing phenomenon. So, why do Koreans chase trends so much? What is the most recent fad that is happening in Korea at the moment? What are people lining up for? More than an hour. So, yeah, have you ever lined up for anything in your life more than 2 hours? I would not. 3 hours? 4 hours even? So, yeah, that's going to be what we're talking about in today's KPC Live. But before we go on, let's just greet some of the chat. And also, I just want to let you guys know that a lot of you who enjoy my KPC live streams have stressed that sometimes they're just too long and you guys have busy lives and you guys have other things to do. I totally understand. So you can't just stick around for the entirety of the 1.5 hour or 2 hour streams. So in the old days, I tried to like reduce these streams, but I changed my mindset. I'm just gonna do whatever I want and do as much as I want. However, if you go to this new channel over here, let me just show you. There's this new channel called KPC Clips. You can search it up on YouTube. It's a newly made channel and it's just for you guys. So you can see over here that I've chopped up the live streams into 8 minute, 10 minute, 11 minute videos over there. So each topic, the ones you're only interested in, you could just click on these videos and yeah, give it a try. And also I have chapters ready for you as well too. So you can just skim through, look at the chapters. I have the chapters all over here, well organized for you. So I'm putting in extra work. Hope you, yeah, like that. And just go here and go subscribe, all right? So yeah, go to KPC Clips if you want to see the shortened versions. However, give me a promise. Do not miss out on the full live streams because it's always just fun chatting with you guys. And that's like an extract version. So yeah, you might miss a lot of jokes, my candid opinions, unfiltered stuff. So yeah, the good stuff happens and stays in the full live streams. All right. So yeah, I love your mindset, horrendous karaoke. I don't have a life, so let's rock on. Okay, joyful one, just subscribe. Thank you so much. And Rhea, hello from Orange County, California. Beautiful place over there. 10:15 a.m. here. I like your lives at this time. Yes, I don't know where you're located, but if you're in Europe, you will probably like this time because, I know a lot of our European subscribers have been missing out recently because of the changed time zone, but please understand because I need to catch up with my sleep as well too. Yeah, anyways. All right. Yeah, so in the meantime, while we go on, if you want to send some support, it's always open here at buymeacoffee.com/KPC David Kim, or the PayPal link is in the description as well too. So yes, any kind of support or super chat will be appreciated. All right. Oh, wow. From Trinidad, Caribbean. It's a sunny morning. All right. We're heading towards Monday. Actually, in an hour in Korea, it's going to be a Monday. Kokola, Finland. Wow, that's a new place. Mexico City. Oh, the main character of today. All right. Great. Don't forget to like and subscribe before we go on. Yes. Yep. So we have more than 100 people. I think it's safe to go on. So we have a lot of fun topics today. As I told you, first on, we're going to go with the Magic Pass drama. Give me some guesses what you think the Magic Pass drama is. Have you ever heard about a Magic Pass? We're not talking about Rain's magic stick here. Magic stick. That was a very dubious wording Rain used in his old song, but yeah, what do you think a Magic Pass is, and what do you think the controversy occurring in Korea is about? What did you get your mom for Mother's Day? I didn't get her anything. She said she wanted cash or she wanted my credit card. So I was like, all right, I'll give you my credit card. And she's deciding between buying a sofa or a robot vacuum cleaner. Yeah, those ones are really convenient nowadays, especially if you have furry dogs. Yeah, with short hair. For us, it was Friday. Yes, it's May 8th, Parents' Day. Yes. Today is Mother's Day in Mexico. Okay, that's great. Hope you give your mom a good hug, some presents, or a nice meal or whatever. Say that you love her. Parents' Day was Friday. Yes. Your mom wanted pancakes. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, make sure you give her some pancakes. Okay, okay. Let's go on into the first news of today. All right. So, what is the Magic Pass drama? So, speaking of Parents' Day, not long ago was actually Children's Day, you know? Like in Korea, May 5th is Children's Day. And on Children's Day, one of the most hottest spots, popular spots in Seoul is obviously this place, Lotte World. I'm pretty sure if you visited Seoul, you might have seen this place near the Chamsil Lotte World Tower. I don't know, like if it's an amusement park is not everybody's cup of tea, and it's also very expensive. And it's Lotte World is a cute, kind of small amusement park in the middle of Seoul. Well, that is something to actually consider positively. But in terms of comparison to Everland or Disney World, Disneyland, Universal Studios, whatever. It's a very mini-sized studio. Yeah, it's like a popular date spot for a lot of Korean couples to go to and dress in school uniforms, take pictures, just for a little picnic and stuff, right? So yeah. Um, oh, okay. Joyful One has been there. It's overstimulating. It is. Yes, it is. All right. So on Children's Day, what happened? What is this magic pass thing? So a mother's online post actually went viral on Children's Day. Oh, you guys messed me up with the Parents' Day thing. Yeah, on Children's Day. All right. So this mother put up a post, especially about this magic pass thingy. So basically, a magic pass is it's like this. I don't know. You probably have your own versions in Disney World or something. It's like the speed pass or the priority, or you have your own words for it. Premium. I've paid it before at Universal Studios when I was in LA, was it? Yeah. And basically, what it does is you pay a premium, probably like, I don't know how much it is, quite honestly. Sorry for the bad research, but probably around maybe 80 bucks or more than that. Actually, let me check it out. How much is a Magic Pass? 롯데월드 매직 패스 가격. So, okay, it's not that bad. Yeah, I was on point. So, Yeah, there are a number of rides you can use with the Magic Pass. So you got the light version, standard, standard B, premium version. So according to each version and tier, you can use like 5 times or 10 times or unlimited, blah blah blah. And the highest tier is actually like 80,000 won, so that would translate into maybe 65 to $70. That's not too bad for an amusement park, right? But we're talking about Lotte World over here, so yeah, don't expect too much. Yeah. Anyways, that's not too bad, like compared to Disney, but then it's also Disney. So going back, yeah, going back. So you can pass by the long lines. Exactly. That's what the Magic Pass is. It's the Disney Fast Pass. Exactly. Thank you for teaching me the equivalent word. Exactly. It's the Disney Fast Pass, but this has become a societal controversy currently in Korea. Why, you might be wondering, what the hell? So this image is generated with AI, and it basically shows the situation in a nutshell. So you see this person over here. There's the parent and the child's pointing at this line, the magic pass line, and he's saying like, "Mommy, mommy, why are we all waiting in this sweaty line for 2 hours when those people are just waltzing through with nobody, and they're even getting on the roller coaster faster than us? What's happening, mommy? I'm tired," right? So this was what happened. So basically, what happened is, this online post from a mom, she describes standing in a sweltering 3-hour line with her child, only to watch families with magic passes breeze past them. And yes, as I said, her child actually heartbreakingly asked, "Mom, why are those people cutting in line?" And then the mother posted a viral complaint about families using the Magic Pass to skip these hour-long lines to the president. And her argument was that in a space for children, money should not be able to buy time. She felt powerless of having to teach the cold reality of capitalism to her child, even in a space like an amusement park. Isn't capitalism just enough for us adults in our harsh reality in our society? And at the end, she actually petitioned to President Lee Jae-myung to ban the priority entry systems altogether. So basically, to this mom, this line in an amusement park was the ultimate social contract. And it's a symbol of a pure, unadulterated fairness, where everyone is just equal regardless of their bank account. And I don't know what you guys think about this, so I am going to tell you the Korean sentiment around this going on, the discourse, but let me get a quick check of what you guys think in the chat. So because everyone is getting Magic Pass and therefore making it redundant, no, celebrities can't even have Magic Pass at airports anymore. Okay, maybe. Complain. Well, that's capitalism for you folks. Yes. Mom should have got the Magic Pass. Well, the point is, she's saying like, yeah, we're not wealthy enough, or we're in not a good financial situation in order to, afford a Magic Pass, and it's saddening, right? Money does buy time everywhere, sadly. It's a business. They're running a business, like it or not. I like that. So yeah, you guys have your own opinions here, right? However, so after this post went viral, it was all over the place. It was on the news, it was on Threads, Instagram. Everyone started jumping on it because it's quite hilarious if you think about it. I think it's personally ridiculous. But like, leaving aside my thoughts for a while, looking at the Korean sentiment, they basically agree with me. Yeah, a lot of people, when they saw this going viral, uh, people were just saying capitalism is capitalism. It isn't a crime, it's a business, and it was brutally unsympathetic to this person. And they were, criticizing this mom for being an emotional person that doesn't understand the brutal reality of capitalism in our society itself. And online communities erupted with comments defending market principles. And if you scroll down through like the most upvoted comments, you can see some hilarious ones. Well, I know a place where it sounds like your utopia, where you would like to be. This man up on the north thinks similar to you. If you want absolute equality, you can just cross the DMZ and go up north, right? He's a master of uh he's a master of distributing corn, and they love lines up there, right? Nobody gets to cut in line. You can't pay a fast pass. You probably can, but anyways, on the surface level, yeah, if you like it so much, you can simply just go up there. Yeah. So that was one of the most upvoted comments. Another user wrote, okay, well, with your logic, I guess we should ban business class on planes too. Yeah, oh, since it's so demoralizing, we always have to walk the hall of shame. Us economy folks, like, when we're entering the plane, the rich guys are all just like flexing their legs and getting wine and champagne, and the flight attendants are smiling at them, while we have to sit in chicken hen cages for a 15-hour flight, blah, 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 blah. So people are like, yeah, capitalism is just capitalism, just suck it up. It's a business. And yeah, you got to teach that to your kid, right? So, LMAO. I mean, Korean people can be pretty harsh in their comments. But I feel her point. It's that it's kids. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that is pretty rough. It's sad that you're a kid in heaven and it's in your face that, yeah, children should not feel that some kids are better than them. It is very sad for the kids. However, I mean, I'm not a parent yet, but if that kind of moment were to occur to me, I would teach my kid a lesson saying, unfortunately, I am sorry. This is how society works. And yeah, I love you. That's what's important. And I work hard to get you guys, like, is assuming I have a child, a daughter and a son. I work hard to feed you guys, to, bring you to amusement parks, uh, help your mom, blah, 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 blah. And this is what we can afford right now. But hopefully in the future, you can find whatever you're good at and earn a lot of money and provide that to your kids. Or, you could teach how society works in a good way. I guess that's very easier said than done. And of course, I don't have any parenting experience, so I'm just like, yeah, hypothesizing over here. But yes, with that logic, just get rid of all the nice things and have everyone be basic for everyone. Exactly. Like, even on YouTube, I mean, I don't know if you can compare it, but I use YouTube Premium because I want to skip in line. I just don't want to watch those ads. So I pay a $10 premium every single month to, yeah, just get rid of that inconvenience. Isn't it like pretty much the same thing of amusement parks, right? So I don't want to sweat in the sun for 2 hours, and my time is precious. So rather than wasting that time and being all uncomfortable and, having to listen to my kids whine and complain at me, I just buy a surplus of like, I just buy like a premium $50 pass and just, yeah, get them on the roller coasters and have an ice cream for myself. Yes. This can be all summed up as, it doesn't matter whether you're born rich or poor, it's what you do with the cards you have been dealt in life. Sorry, not sorry, life is not fair, deal with it. Dad David seems strict. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to be pretty strict. I'm a T rather than an F. I'm not a feeler. I'm a more of a rational kind of person. So, yeah. Capitalism is capitalism, which is why you have to pay so much to get into the park. Requiring more money to get on a ride faster is just greed. Okay, you can think like that. You have to teach the kid how to wait, or it will grow up to be a problem adult. Yes. The way I see it, you shouldn't really pass on money to children that don't earn any of it. Oh, I love that. I love that. Just because you earn money doesn't mean your kids are rich. Yes. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, this is a heated debate in the chat today. I love it. Okay. I would love to read all your comments. Let's be honest, the kid is just excited to be there. Doubt he was the one that brought in the inequality of this situation. Yes. I pay for YouTube Premium too. Money well spent, a matter of priorities, what you spend your money on. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Many lessons to be learned. Uh, yeah. An Indian parent slash my parents would have probably said to me to study to get a good job to earn more money. Exactly. My parents would have said the same thing. Yeah. But anyways, we have a lot to cover with this right now. So to proceed on, so you saw some comments like get rid of first class on planes or whatsoever. So yeah, I mean, to the public, the Magic Pass isn't something unjust. It isn't cheating. It's something not unfair. It's just a legitimate purchase of a service itself. So yeah, the backlash suggests that the mother wasn't fighting for fairness, but rather is suffering from a mix of envy and a refusal to acknowledge how a market economy functions. And this could be a very slippery slope once you start petitioning it to the president and politicians actually, you know, yeah, give power to these voices. Personally, that's my opinion. But anyways, this leads to a bigger conversation and discussion in our society. It's been a pretty trendy word. I hate to say the word trendy, but it's been overused. It's been very popular for a couple years now in Korea. It's called 상대적 박탈감. 상대적 박탈감. That means relative deprivation. It's a very popular social term that started suddenly from like the 2010s or something. And yeah, it didn't come out of nowhere. It had a valid emotional response to a real widening wealth gap that's happening in all capitalistic societies now as we proceed more towards like late stage capitalism. Well, the wealth gap is a big problem. So I wouldn't say it's like a silly term or anything. People feel relatively deprived. Um, yeah, so like it's one thing to read about like a celebrity in a 10 billion won penthouse. Like that's like a long distance from you. But it is a different world, but it's also another thing to see a friend or a peer or someone around you maxing out on loans and buying this house, and you see it quadruple in value over 5 years. So you're just here, you're working hard, you are a diligent worker, you're a good mannered citizen in society, and you're doing what the society has been telling you to do, like be diligent, go get a job, feed yourself or your family, blah blah blah. But instead, this other guy maxed out his loans and he got a house and he was paying high interest and whatever, but in 5 years his net worth has become 100K to 500K, while my net worth is like in 5 years it's become like 150K because I had expenses, I had other stuff to do, blah 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 blah, right? So you feel that feeling, oh my gosh, in retrospect, and you look at your friend who got that apartment now, and yeah, net worth has quadrupled, 5x, and he's suddenly buying German cars, and yeah, and on top of that, what makes it even worse is like if you look at this picture, there's the concept of the gold spoon and dirt spoon, right? So if that person had an inheritance or they come from a relatively wealthier family background, they already have a head start. So you're like, you always, before you go to bed, you roll up in your bed inside your blankets, and you cry secretly saying, why am I so unlucky? Why did I get born in this family? Why don't I have the money to invest, or blah 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 blah, right? And then you look on social media and you see friends going on first class flights to Bali or something, and they're on the beach side while you have to go to work tomorrow, right? So everybody feels this. So this relative deprivation, 상대적 박탈감, I think it's a universal thing, but it's just more accelerated in Korea, right? So everybody's just been using this term forever over here. There have been caricatures or these kind of animations being made. The rich, they seem like they're on the same starting line. That's what they tell you. But like no matter how hard you work and get your diplomas and whatever, you have to carry the burden of your parents' debts too. And while these people are riding in Mercedes, and yeah, of course you're on the same starting line, but they have an engine and gasoline, and you have to carry the load of your parents as well too. So, anyways, yes, yeah, it is definitely a problem. It is definitely a problem. So yeah, there have been a lot of examples in this in Korea that really just boosted this term relative deprivation. Um, and I think, I don't want to get into political territories, but like I'm just talking in a neutral stance over here, right? So I think the biggest case that just, made this term super, super popular was this professor slash now politician named Cho. He was from the Democratic Party, a liberal, and yeah, liberals are usually against, like inequality and, the rich getting richer, and they want to disperse the social, what do you call them, like capital and all that. So yeah. However, this person was on the liberal side, the right side, and it was a huge conflict back then because he was also a professor in law at Seoul University. He was a very respected professor in law as well. So he's a law professor. He's very influential in the political side of the liberal and democratic side. And upon a hearing, upon yeah, like him being, he was trying to become a politician because he was selected by the then president or something, and then you have to go through hearings, right? You have to go through these investigations whether you're clean or not. It was revealed that he had actually used his authority as a professor and more than a middle class family. He used his capital to give privilege to his daughter during university entry exams and admission. So, yeah, at the end, his daughter, entered into med school, one of the biggest med schools in Korea. And because of this trial, they found out that the admission procedure was unfair and there was a lot of privilege given towards her. The parents, meaning this professor, and his wife was also a professor too. They had faked achievements like on her resume, on her, what do you call it, portfolio, that she did this experience and that experience, and then she did like, this kind of volunteer work, she did some kind of activities in this company. And quite honestly, normal people that don't have the connections or the authority or the power to do that, you know don't really have the strings to do those kind of things and add it to your portfolio, right? So yeah, a lot of people felt very betrayed, and of course the conservatives were like laughing and they were saying like, "Oh, look at that hypocrite." And yeah, in this case, the word 상대적 박탈감, relative deprivation, popped up a lot in our society, and everybody just started using it one after another. Yes, and it was a huge case, especially because education is taken so seriously in Korea. and that's why we can't easily change the entry exam for universities like Sunung. Like Sunung, as stupid it might seem to me, my personal stance is that it's a short-term memory exam. It requires you to memorize stupid stuff that are impractical in your life. Unless you're going to become a rocket scientist, I don't know why you have to do these equations and these math, whatever problems. And yeah, like basic like and the fact that this exam based on scores gets you into good universities, which propels you to getting good jobs in society. Of course, people can say that it's a fight of consistency, diligence, grit, and also memory, intelligence, IQ, whatever. They can argue all of that, but to me, it just didn't make sense because like there aren't any aptitude tests. You're just like putting people in Excel sheets and numbers, like lining them up. And they're just choosing departments and majors based on those scores. So to me, it didn't really make sense. But after hearing all these sides and debates about, these other special conditions, admission entries to get into college and stuff, people have been arguing, well, if it's not this system, it won't be fair. This is the fairest thing, and it's the fairest shot that people have. We have good public education. Of course, there are academies, so I don't know if we can call it entirely fair, but at least we have good public education systems. We have a lot of materials that the kids can work with. So if they work hard enough and they can get good scores, then they can be seen on an equal level playing field, and they can challenge, maybe the rich. However, on the contrary, where I stand, there's another admission kind of type where they look at portfolios, your activities, volunteer work, or your circle activities during high school, what you were good at, blah blah blah. So some person might be very good at English. This person might have been very active in English debate clubs, or some person might have been very good at, volunteer work and has done it consistently for 5 years during middle school and high school, going to underprivileged areas and taking care of kids. So that could lead to social welfare jobs. And I believe, like in middle school and high school, kids should be able to explore that kind of aptitude and what they like and what their talent is, and base like university entries or the decision to even go to university or not based on those kind of things. However, a lot of people say, well, those things can be rigged, and they can be, bought, and they can be really easily swayed by connections. It's very unfair. So, just like this incident with the law professor and the politician, yeah, people up there are gonna use their authority to get all the good stuff, and we can't compete against these people in those kind of admission uh, formats. So that has a point too. Anyways, yeah, I kind of tangented into another realm here, but the education sector is seen very, very seriously here. That's why everyone's just decided, okay, let's just go with the sunung, the SAT. Like, yeah, that's the fairest way if you think about it. But anyways, yeah, ever since that incident, the word relative deprivation has become super, super popular, and it's become used in many, many various terms, describing this disparity and the feeling you get when your neighbors or your friends or relatives buy apartments, because housing prices is a huge problem in Korea as well too. If you look at this picture, you can see the drastic difference between this line here over here and the newly built apartments over here. You can see the little residences that are very crammed up together, and you can see the high-rise apartments that just definitely look more modern and good infrastructure and all that. So yeah, like if you're a person that's living from this side looking towards the apartment, wouldn't you feel this relative sense of deprivation, right? So yeah, anyways, I guess the problem is like you see these kind of cases more and more frequently, and whether you have some, shifts in society. There's like the housing market bubble, or the real estate just keeps on skyrocketing, or there's the crypto boom like Bitcoin, and there's like social media and news outlets just rubbing it in your face every single day. And you're the one that missed out on that opportunity, and it feels like everyone else is getting rich other than yourself. You feel deprived, relatively, right? And you're just living a normal life, but you feel powerless. And yeah, like if you count your blessings, you're living a perfectly good life, but compared to some people that have successfully hopped on some of the rides, then yeah, you feel, yeah, left out, right? And yes, however, going back to today's incident and case, the magic pass for the Lotte World thing, you remember, right? Just to remind you, I'll show you the picture over here. So my personal opinion is, okay, context wise, the relative deprivation, that word is a valid word. It's a valid phenomenon where it's universal and people feel because of the wealth gap and the wealth disparity. However, I think carefully that it's somewhat reached a saturation point. Like, just like we see with this incident with the mom at the amusement park, like everyone's been overusing and abusing this deprivation mentality, and it's become the default now to a lot of people, and it's risking the country's mentality that's built on grit, especially for Korea, and it's kind of paralyzing the competition, the healthy competition that's going on, by and exchanging it with resentment towards each other. And it's like, oh, why does he have to get to do that when I'm just doing this? Well, you never know. He might have tried harder, or he might have earned it, or anything, right? Or he might have been privileged. That's a fair point. But, anyways, yeah, like life is not fair, right? But if you start just explaining and complaining about everything with this mindset, society can't move on in a progressive manner. And yeah, like because of this kind of mindset, if it becomes proliferated, it creates stagnation, in my opinion. So it's a very tricky double-edged sword, and while I constantly emphasize that it is a valid concern and emotion, and I feel it too as a human being, I would say that I'm an objective kind of person, so I count my blessings, and I feel like I'm blessed, I'm privileged, and I have a house, I have a loving family, I have good income, and so I'm very thankful with my life. However, if you start comparing to other people, like my friends who are more successful than me, the CEOs, or the business owners that I meet on a daily basis, they're way well off than me. If you look on the internet right now, the Kospi boom, the stock market boom, is creating multi-millionaires, right? Like it never ends. So yeah, I wouldn't be the best example, but like someone that is, in poverty, or, that is struggling, when they look up to people that are spending thousands of dollars on Pokemon cards, or feeding their dogs more expensive food than your daily food budget, then I definitely get the feeling. But it can't be, you can't always just stay in that mentality and always point fingers. Oh, it's because of unfairness in society. Why does he get to do that? Like money shouldn't be able to buy everything, and blah 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 blah. I think it's come to a point where, yeah, where the validity and the abusing, the overusage has like kind of met at like a crossing point. So yeah, some people think that it's becoming a social disease to this point, and you got to see the context of it. So obviously, social media triggered this whole sentiment like a wildfire in our society. So if you look at these kind of cartoons, they always display social media. People, just scrolling through Instagram before they go to sleep. They see their friends having pretty faces, wearing Prada and Chanel bags, going to buffets, going on trips with their friends at the beaches, flying first class, getting accepted to Seoul University. So all of these kind of things give you that feeling of deprivation. And there was a survey over here. Have you ever felt relative deprivation in an acquaintance's life on social media? 62% of the total felt it. I don't even know why they had to actually do this survey. I think it's pretty obvious. By gender, females have felt it even more than males. 76.5%. Males have felt it almost to a half. And yeah, I think it's pretty inevitable. If you look at more statistics over here, groups that cause a sense of relative deprivation, wealthy parents of acquaintances, acquaintances that have wealthy parents, well-known conglomerate executives. I never felt uh, relative deprivation towards Chebbles. Like they're living in a different world. I've always like accepted my reality in that. High income celebrities, sometimes when I see like these articles saying like IU bought a $10 million house in wherever in a luxury villa, GD's got that penthouse with a luxury car storage and blah blah blah. When I see those kind of things, sometimes I'm like, yeah, life must be good. And yeah, of course they're talented and they're really like lucky to do that. But like, oh, what if I were like, oh yeah, is it, sometimes you look at TV broadcast shows and reality shows or whatever, and you see the celebrities that appear there, and all they do is just eat stuff and travel together, and they're just laughing with each other. And then there's an article saying that that particular celebrity earns like 30K per appearance, while you're like grinding your ass off for the whole year, and you earn the equivalent of that. Like that's when you feel very deprived sometimes towards celebrities. But I would say even for celebrities, I don't really feel that much. But then there's also this is the worst. High earners among acquaintances. When it comes to the similar playing field of acquaintances, then it's like, oh, your friend, your mom's friend's son or something like that, or high income professionals, company representatives, all that, and influencers. Yeah, you definitely feel that kind of sense, right? Yeah, so anyways, social media is a whole other ball game. It's about comparison and encouraging people to feel deprived if you choose to buy into it. I don't think it's a matter of buying into it anymore. Social media has just been carved into our society so much that it's even just almost impossible to live without it because it just serves you information. You get all the knowledge in the world from social media or YouTube, and you stay connected to your friends through that. You do business through it. So we have no choice but to use these monopolized social media platforms, and because they are designed to stir up your emotions about deprivation and comparison, it's inevitable. Yeah, and nowadays, in the old days you could avoid that by restricting your follower list, but nowadays they just feed you with random stuff by the algorithm, right? Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Booty Cream Cheese, for the 10 jewels. Wow. Thank you so much for that. I don't think the Magic Pass can be considered relative deprivation. The family is still enjoying the park, they just aren't enjoying it as much. Well, the story becomes different when it's summer, it's like 25 degrees. That's actually not bad. 30 degrees, and you're sweating like hell, and you've been in the line for 2 hours, and your two kids have been crying, and they're complaining that they're hot, and they're asking you to like hold them on your backs, and the other parents and the other kids are licking ice cream and just waltzing just through past you, and your kids complain about that too. And then you end up only being able to ride two roller coasters for the entirety of your stay at the amusement park, and you go home tired, right? So I understand it to some part. Yeah. uh yes. Social media is meant to show the good parts of your life. Rarely do you use it to share the bad things, and even if you do, people will just judge you for it. Better to talk to a close friend. Yeah. Um, Okay, so yeah, don't believe everything on social media. Anyways, there's another phenomenon. I covered this in one of the old KPC lives, but it's very similar to the word 상대적 박탈감, so relative deprivation. It's called 벼락거지. This is an AI generated picture I made. So this is a homeless person. He's a beggar on the streets. He's a very famous meme in Korea, and 벼락 means lightning. So 벼락 거지 means sudden poverty if you translate it, or if you translate it literally, it's like you fall down to a beggar's level at the speed of light. So you're struck by a lightning of poverty, something like that. So, yeah, this has been another term that's been going on in Korea, and people feel poor simply because they didn't catch the right investment wave. They start complaining to the government about it, that the policy was a failure. Similar voices occur recently about the stock market nowadays. Everyone's whispering about how much they earned on the stock market. The news is going crazy. Kospi is at an all-time high. And people are even criticizing the government. I can't believe this, honestly. I'm going to get a little political here, but Lee Jae-myung, the president Lee, had made so much changes and shifts in the stock market. Plus, we had a tailwind of the Samsung and SK Hynix semiconductor super cycle that I mentioned last time. So the president said that if we resolve the Korea discount and put more regulations and transparency and more promotion towards the stock market, we could get out of that Kospi box of 2,000 to 3,000 for like 10 years, and we could go up to 5,000. And his policy, his promise was 5,000. Now we're at 7,384, and you can see everyone's like freaking happy. But one side of the nation, some people are butthurt because they're saying towards the president, oh, the government shouldn't be fostering a gambling field, aka the stock market, and normal people with little money don't really have the chances to get rich anyways through investing compared to people that already have a lot of money. So yeah, all you're doing is just making people more feel more self-deprived. Um, yeah, so I think that's actually BS. You know, I know a lot of people around me that are not very wealthy, but they saved up a lot and they saw this trend coming. They put a lot of money into the stock market recently and they've earned thousands to even tens and thousands of dollars, and they're really happy with it. And the economy is pretty much booming. Some people might say that the real economy, like the grocery prices or the living cost or the oil prices, are in a difficult position right now, which I agree to some extent. However, the fact that the financial markets are reacting at least good, it's going to trickle down when companies like Samsung, SK, LG, they're all doing good. There are going to be more jobs. There are going to be more productivity. There are going to be more consumption in our country, more exports, blah 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 blah. So I think all in all, it's definitely good that the stock market is going crazy right now and it's going up. Of course, there's going to be a correction, and a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money there. So people need to be careful, not greedy, but that's individual choice. Anyways, anyways, yeah, we were talking about the 벼락거지, the lightning beggar phenomenon, and a lot of people are feeling that feeling right now because how the Korean stock market is reacting. Quite frankly, even though I've made a lot of earnings on this wave, I feel like if you see those receipts on online communities where people are earning millions from the stock market, I feel deprived as well too. I'm like, oh shit, I made chump change. But yeah, I'm an objective person that knows how to count my blessings. So I'm gonna be very thankful and appreciative towards, yes, this. Yeah, but anyways, going back, so this is a very inspirational picture. I think it's a very accurate picture. So equality versus equity versus reality. So a lot of people say, just blindfolded equality isn't always the solution. So there are different people in different situations. There are underprivileged people. There are disabled people. All sorts of different people in our societies. Just giving them the same starting line or the same infrastructure is just not enough. So you should go for a more equity type of policy. But then in reality, it's neither of those, nor it's neither of equality nor equity. It's actually like on the the furthest right side, reality. Yeah, the poorest person doesn't get anything, and the richest person gets like the first class seat. So yeah, this is a famous cartoon pic that always pops up related to these kind of uh discussions. Yeah, you just noticed the kid in the pit, right? So sad, but that is actually reality. So ideally, the second frame we're looking at would be the best way to go. But unfortunately, I think every capitalistic society, including the US, including Korea, is very close to the reality frame we've looked there. Yeah, but anyways, what I wanted to say is, you know, there needs to be a balanced voicing and opinion about these terms like relative deprivation and struck by the poverty lightning. There I think fundamentally, unless wealth was inherited to someone, if you're living in at least a first world country or a country that provides safety and like a, a at least a equal level of public education, like I'm talking about countries that have a safety net or something like that, and people might be very sarcastic and say like, oh, that, well, the US is not there, oh, Korea is not there, oh, my country's not like that. But anyways, like by the book, if you have some opportunities in life and you have the infrastructure and you have the education and you have some sort of welfare, um unless like someone gets a massive amount of wealth inherited to them, for the individuals that are just starting at zero, I do think fundamentally during a person's lifetime there will be a difference in choices, directions, actions, behavior, uh, educating oneself, mentality. And yeah, while someone spends $5 on Starbucks coffee every single morning, someone is going to invest that $5 every single day on the S&P 500 ETF. Or while someone decides to buy a 30K car because, I want to be flashy, or I just want to go to the grocery more conveniently. I just want to get around conveniently. Someone is going to invest that 30K into something else and save up and use their healthy legs to go by public transportation. So it all kind of compounds up, and while someone's at their couch watching binge viewing anime and Netflix like me, someone is right now at the library studying, I don't know, whatever that might be good for them in the future. So yeah, like everyone has their set of choices and their courses, and the directions are all very different, and your actions compound. So I do think if everyone starts to say like, oh, his wealth was inherited, or oh yeah, society shouldn't be like that because the rich tax, or they're just wealthy so they're buying everything. I mean, that is a very popular and easy convenient logic, but you also gotta regard and consider, maybe that person you're looking at really worked hard and really just sacrificed their own leisure or pleasures or convenience or their urges to get up there. I know a lot of people around me that started from rags and nothing, and they just didn't spend anything on what normal people do. Like people usually say, "Oh, well, I'll spend this much because like, I'm giving myself a reward for the week," and they go to movie theaters and eat out, restaurants, blah blah blah. I'm not saying you should be like a penny pincher or anything, but like there are people that make those decisions. And while some people decide to go to the academics field and become a professor, or like some people want to go into the work field and become, a regular employee at a conglomerate, some people take enormous risks and they put their own money into building a restaurant or making an online business or whatever, which has a 90% of failing, right? And once it actually starts launching, they earn folds of money where the other people you know choose their own direction. So I think it's unfair to just deem everybody is automatically rich and rich people are evil, and that they're buying their way through everything and they're leaving everyone else deprived, and it's very demoralizing. I think, while that is a valid concern, it should be balanced. Yeah. When I saw this controversy, that was the first thought that hit me. More and more people like this are going to pop up. That's just how society is right now nowadays. I feel her. I can relate to her. I can feel her, and I can feel the sadness. But you know, it's just how it is, and yeah, you can't protest to the government, say like, oh, let's all be equal and let's all come down to the same level because I don't want to see these people buying their way out. It's just unfair. That would be like the first picture over there, right? So I don't know. Yeah, so that's just my thoughts. You might have other thoughts. I think this can be even expanded into a very large discussion of ideology and systems and all that. And yeah, today we're not going to go that big, but yes. Um, there are a lot of wealthy people here in the US that look like your neighbor in a small town, and there are also people who spend their last dollar to drive a Mercedes but can't buy groceries. Exactly. Uh, but the reality is, for the hardworking lower class, it is almost impossible to move up no matter how hard you work now. The rich are changing it to make it more difficult. Exactly. I understand that too. Yeah. And yeah, it's becoming very tilted, especially because it's all becoming a money game, especially in the stock market and like how financially rigged the system is. Like if you look at hedge fund managers or the Wall Street guys, they play money games with other people's money and they pay their own selves bonuses, and even if they lose money, they don't have to pay any consequences. And that money, the funds they're actually playing with, sometimes are from national pensions or police pensions or yeah, some individual person's money or whatever. So yeah, money earns money. But I think in times like this, people should start educating themselves even more about finance, and that's the only way you can survive, unfortunately. Well, Elon Musk says you won't have to educate yourself with finance or anything, or you won't have to work in the near future. You'll have basic universal income, because the AI productivity is going to go through the roof. So no people will lose all their jobs, but it's the productivity is just going to be so cheap. The labor cost is going to be so cheap, so that the government is going to tax the crazy rich AI companies, and then you'll all get universal income, and everyone's just going to be happy. I doubt that. Knowing human nature, I doubt that. But who am I to go against Elon's ideas? Yeah, I don't know if UBI is going to actually work, but yeah. Um, your actions control how your life will be. Work hard, play hard. Exactly. David should be at the library, is what I got from this. I actually think that a lot, you know? I actually think in the bed, whenever before I go to sleep, I scroll through Instagram, Reels, and YouTube and look at stupid memes and Reels and laugh and chuckle. And whenever I'm going to sleep, like thinking of those 30 minutes I spent on Reels, I'm like, oh, dang. Someone out there is spending this time probably at the gym lifting weights or running, or someone is studying the financial markets, or someone is working for a master's degree or whatever, and I'm here watching stupid AI slop shit before I go to sleep, and I feel horrible about myself. And then I go on social media for one last swipe. I'm like, I'm done with Reels. Let's see what's going on with the world and my friends. And someone's getting married today, and someone bought a house, and someone's on a trip, and we're always trapped in that vicious cycle and that loop. And you end up feeling horrible, and then wake up next day and you have to go to work, and you're like, I feel like shit. And then your conclusion is, you know what? Life is unfair. It's all because the system is rigged. Tax the rich. Why do they get to earn so much money? Says a person who was scrolling on Reels 30 minutes last night, chuckling on AI slop, while these entrepreneurs were probably busting their asses when they were your age, taking massive risks. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm depressed. Yeah. Yes. Before we go on, let's lighten the mood a little bit. Yes, I was on a CNN series called K Everything. I think it's out now. I got the green light to promote it. So it's actually an HBO Max, CNN Watch, and Coupon Play original series where the Korean American actor Daniel Day Kim from Lost, he appears as the host, and he goes through Korea and experiences the food, the culture, his roots, K-pop. I appear there as a K-pop content creator slash expert, and I walk through him in a vinyl place and talk about K-pop history and whatever. I haven't seen the clips or the content yet, so I don't know how they've edited me. Hopefully, I didn't say anything stupid or against the narrative. But yeah, go check out K Everything on CNN. Yeah, go check it out. Uh, the government keep taking our working money while good and services prices rise with relief on site as we continue working on this hamster wheel. Yeah, I know the system is rigged. You gotta escape the system. Holy shit, isn't this what Andrew Tate used to say? Escape the matrix. But yeah, like the government just take our taxes. Yeah, they use it in stupid places. Politicians just, steal them, and they have no consequences at all. And it's a huge problem in Korea too. Like there's this thing going on. There's a huge problem about festivals here. So all these regional districts, regional cities, they have their own festivals every single year. This is probably the tip of the iceberg of all these financial problems and rigged systems, but I'm just giving you a very uh, a close case. So recently, there was this YouTuber called Chungju. He used to be a civil service worker in the city of Chungju, and he was just working on his basic income as a YouTuber to promote the city of Chungju for the city. And he was super competent, so he got very, very popular. He got more than 2 million subs on a city-owned channel. That is a very, very big achievement. So he basically quit being a civil service worker, like I would too, because like if he went freelance and private, he would earn like 100 times of what he's been earning as a civil servant. And yeah, he made a channel, and he got one job. He got so many offers from all these big companies, and they were lined up, uh, trying to pay him like in 100Ks, like 1 mil, whatever, and to make a video for them. And one day he got a promotion from a different city. It's called Yosu. It's a beautiful city. They once had an expo there. RM went there to go to a temple, which I visited too. It's very, very peaceful over there with the beach and the sea. And yeah, the city of Yosu asked him to make a promotion video of this upcoming island festival. So apparently Yosu has an archipelago. They have like little islands here and there, and they're like in the hundreds or thousands. And they want to make a festival out of it, kind of like a exhibition or expo, whatever, those kind of things. And yeah, his job was to promote that. So he got invited and he filmed all of that. But in his video, people could see he was very, very sarcastic and salty when he was, showing these places. He was like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's an empty field. Oh, wow, it's an island with a lot of plastic just lying by on the coastline. Oh, wow, it's another one of those useless bronze statues and those cute mascots that nobody really appreciates, and you give hundreds of dollars for design fees. And he was like that for the whole video. And it was barely a promotional video. It was almost like a more of an investigative report. So that really, really went viral. And yeah, everyone knew in Korea that our tax money was being spent in stupid places. But festivals like these, like every city has their own kimbap festival or mud festival or flower festival or island festival, tteokbokki festival, all these festivals. And apparently the budget for this island festival was 700억. So how much is that? I can't even translate that into English dollars because it's like amount of money I've never even tried translating. So 7,000 is 700만 원, 70,000 is 7천만 원, 700,000 is 7억, 7 million is 70억, $70 million. $70 million for an island festival, and they have 6 months left, and they haven't constructed the infrastructure or the facilities there. And yeah, it's become a huge uproar, and people in Korea are protesting and petitioning that we need a full-on excavation investigation towards these regional festivals that are probably sucking all our tax money and using it in stupid causes like these. And the politicians probably are, yeah, they're stealing from our pockets. They're probably using construction companies or, designers or whatever companies that are all colluded together, and they get a cashback in behind as a Rolex or gold bars or whatever, and they evade taxes or they money launder it through crypto or send it to the Virgin Islands or whatever, whereas us normies are just paying taxes. So yeah, now you know what, I'm angry towards the government. Is there an ice cream festival? Yeah, probably there is. I wouldn't be surprised if I actually typed it right now and see like there's an ice cream festival. Let's actually see. Ice cream 축제. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we have an ice cream festival in the city of Siheung. Okay. There you go. Yeah. Anyways, Yosu, the one in the song, exactly. Yosu Bampada. Yeah, that song. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and if you're enjoying the stream, please consider supporting at paypal.me/KoreanPizzaClub. Buy me a coffee or pizza if you can, or join Patreon. Much love from Texas, thank you. David will be edited to avoid his yapping. Oh, on K Everything, yes. You gotta love when the truth comes out about where your tax money is being spent. Exactly. All right. Oh, it's been an hour, so let's go on to the next news. Yep. So you'll be surprised with this one. But before we go on, since I'm going to put up the edited versions on KPC Clips, for those of you who joined later, I'm just letting you guys know that I have a separate channel now called KPC Clips where you can get the abstract versions of uh, these streams and just reducing and cutting out all the fluff and the fillers, just getting straight to the point in 8 to 10 minute videos on that channel. So go to KPC Clips, go subscribe over there. And in the meantime, let me go get some ice cream, talk with you guys for like 5 minutes, and then proceed on to the next topic. You struck something in my brain mentioning the ice cream festival. It's your fault. So I got my ice cream. Lala Sweet, low sugar. Yeah, everything's low sugar, zero calories. It's blueberry. Looks good, right? Mmm. 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 So yeah, next topic is going to be about trends. Why Koreans chase so many trends. I've always wondered myself too. I did some digging, along with the most recent trend that is pretty stupid in my opinion. All these trends are so stupid. BTS purple ice cream. I have my army bomb there in the back with the Arirang album. You've been relatively deprived of meeting David. You aren't relatively deprived of meeting me because nobody in the chat has met me. You thought it was a sweet potato flavor? Respectfully, I would never eat a sweet potato tasted ice cream, flavored ice cream. David, have you been able to figure out how to come to the US for a BTS show? Actually, I got so many emails from a lot of people saying that they would provide me a ticket. That itself, I feel like I'm so blessed. From the US, from the UK, but financially, flying to the US and going to hotels and staying there and, like eating out for probably a week or so if I were to go there is just a very big burden that I cannot afford right now. By the way, the BTS foods are interesting. Have you got to try them yet? You mean the Adi series? No, I don't think they sell them in Korea. It's blueberry. Yum. Bro pulling in free tickets from random foreigners. I know, right? They're not random foreigners, they're my subscribers. Hey, Detonia, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal. Thank you so much. I need to think of, okay, this is a great opportunity. I need to think of a new chant to, yeah, to thank my subscribers for sending donations. The old one was Pizza Pizza. Now that it's no longer the Korean Pizza Club, what should I make it? Blueberry yogurt ice cream is your favorite. Me too. popsicles in your fridge. Plum, orange, and mango. Ooh, nice choices. Butter ramen? What? Really? People. Makes sense. Because it was Korean Pizza Club, it was pizza, and now it's Korean people and culture. So, people. Oh, thank them in Korean. You are a genius. I'll say 감사합니다. But then that's like too soulless, so... what should I do? Now all the cities have to match Mexico energy for BTS tour. Yep, gonna be talking about that in a bit. What's the weather like here? I think we're approaching summer. It's still kind of cool. It's perfect weather, not gonna lie. I went out in this hoodie today, and I felt amazing. It was perfect. Yeah. But I slowly feel the sun getting hotter and longer. Hello from Romania. I'm watching the live from the beginning. I've just started watching it. All right, hello. If you're watching 2x speed, maybe you can catch up. Money. Oh, that's good. Money. We're all just sitting here watching David eat ice cream. Well, you're talking to me, right? Hey, Hilda, thank you so much for the 30 joules. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. You know what that is? Oh, if you're a 90s kid and you watched Gag Concert, you'll know what that is. I need SJ with me right now. You know I do Arirang Radio. Oh, right. Let me show you this as well, too. So if you go to my channel, over here, KPC with David Kim. Oh, wow, I look like this doing a live right now. Okay. If you scroll down, I've added this new playlist, Arirang Radio and News. So this is SJ, the host of K-Trend Monitoring Office. And I occasionally, regularly, be on these K-Culture news sessions as well, too. So I'm on Arirang Weekly, and you guys, I know like the time zones are very tricky, so you can't really tune in. But yeah, I've started uploading all of them on this playlist on my channel. So if you're interested in tuning in to the topics over here, yeah, you can check it out. Yeah, so if you click on this, there's actually quite a lot of episodes. It's radio format, so it might be a little bit more stiff than live streams, obviously. But yeah, we got 41. Wow, I've been on radio for such a long time now. Anyways, this week we talked about. You're like, oh, I don't really want. What did we talk about?
Crazy, man. So one of our listeners, Forky, she's
the MZ Generation's Guide to Annual Leave. Yeah. Last time I was on
the Korean concert,
the K News,
raincoats and meet a
we
person.
talked about the BTS
waterproof windbreaker
concert. My experience there. Go check it out. All right. And thank you to the Bard that gave me this idea. Yeah, he's like, why don't you archive your appearances on the media platforms on your YouTube channel? I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. It's good for our subscribers too. Hilda, thank you for the 300 joules. Woo! Oh, this is a great way to do it. It's the Korean finger heart. If you want to support me, the best way to do is Patreon. I've launched a new perk for the $5 tier. So you guys are going to be getting newsletters, probably 2 per week, about the latest trends or news, things that are kind of too Korean specific, enough to actually mention on my live streams. For instance, what I've worked on this week, newsletter, it's about to get published, is about the vintage wine swap that happened to Chef An Sungjae. It's a very big controversy over here. So if you're a Patreon, you can get this directly through your email, or you can watch it on, you can view it on Patreon as well too. I publish my own opinions. So yeah. Anyways, check it out if you want. If you want the latest news and my thoughts. That ice cream was good. I'm so happy because the ice cream was good. Oh, must have been before the hype stocks dropped. Yeah. I'm in deep trouble, guys. It's okay. It's gonna go up. Viva Mexico! Viva Mexico! David, your K-drama won Baeksang Award, Mr. Kim. Oh, really? Yeah, it definitely deserved the award. Yeah, I only do noteworthy dramas. You know, there are a lot of good romance dramas and everything, but the ones I pick are worthy of social commentary and deeper stuff. So, yeah, if you're in the $5 tier, you also get access to the watch parties over here on Patreon. I did BTS Return documentary. I'm late on the BTS Run series. But yeah, The Dream Life of Mr. Kim, I did all of these as a watch party. I did S-Line over here. Yeah, go check out the watch parties as well too. Hello, Harleen. We can't blame if people can afford the Magic Pass. This should be used as motivation to strive to work harder. That's how I think as well too. Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next topic. Let's go on to the next topic. This is going to be a fun one. There you go. Ready, guys? Ready for the second topic? Okay. All right. So, what the second topic is about is the Republic of the Open Run. Why Koreans wait 15 hours for a cup of tea. Yeah, can you believe that title? So, if you've walked through the streets of Sinchon, Yongsan, Gangnam lately, you've probably seen something that really looks like a protest or a massive celebrity fan meet. But then you look closer and realize everyone is just waiting for milk tea. And it's not just any tea, it's a brand called Cha-ji. Have you heard of that brand? Cha-ji before? So if you look at the pictures over here, a week after opening, the lines are still wrapped around the blocks, and on opening day in Sinchon, people were waiting 188 minutes. That's 3 hours, more than 3 hours. In Yongsan, the app queue actually hit 951 minutes. Can you freaking believe that? That is crazy for some milk tea. That's near 16 hours. So you could fly to London and still have time to grab like a sandwich and the tea, an afternoon tea, and yeah, you could come back. Yeah. So, anyways, Well, welcome to the open run world in Korea. And open run is exactly what you think it sounds like. So, yeah, you have that in the US as well too. I've seen you guys in Black Friday and in Walmart and stuff trying to get all the cheap electronics. But yeah, the moment the doors unlock, you sprint and it's grown so much bigger than just an open run or a simple morning jog. It's now a full-blown cultural phenomenon. And yeah, Korea has become a country that just doesn't follow trends. We consume them with a intensiveness to the extent of waiting 951 minutes for milk tea. I would call that a little stupid. But anyways, for chaji, I've actually tried this before and it's quite ironic. I mean, I don't want to give that I'm better than everyone else kind of vibes, but it is true. I was randomly roaming about in Singapore and I found a very nice looking place, looked like a cafe, and it was a new brand that I didn't know about, but I recognized that place being here and there in like these big fancy buildings. So I was just like, yeah, let me try it out. And I went up and it was like a milk tea place. A lot of people were there, seemed very popular. I bought a cup of milk tea. It was okay. So yeah, it's not my first chaji, so I would never line up for that. I'm better than everyone else. I'm not saying that. But it was the same for Five Guys and stuff. Maybe this is coming from a privileged standpoint where I did have the opportunity to travel abroad, so that I did have the opportunity to eat In and Out, Shake Shack, Five Guys, and Chaji and everything. Wow, so privileged, right? Imagine your life brag being, I've tried Chaji and In and Out before. Yeah. Sounds like massive FOMO. It's beyond stupid. Mm-hmm. Uh, they just need to open more outlets and the queues will die down. Yeah, because all of us in London do afternoon tea every day. Would you like a cup of tea? Sorry. Um, yeah, but anyways, what is so special about Chaji? So when I tasted it, I didn't even know anything about it, and I was like, it's all right. It's milk tea. Yeah, it's good milk tea, right? So why did everyone lose their minds over this Chaji brand? Well, probably because of this. A lot of news media outlets are saying that this was an amplifier. So it wasn't a stranger brand to Korea. Months before the launch, IVE's Chang Won-young, the Princess of Korea, the super visual of K-pop, and she is actually known as the human personification of trending in Korea. She's the trend icon, and she was spotted sipping on it on a live stream. Yeah, so instantly it wasn't just a Chinese milk tea brand anymore. It was labeled the Changwon-young milk tea. So people started saying, "Oh, what is that? Oh, that cup looks pretty. Oh, what's she loving so much? Look at her expression over there saying like, "Wow, it's so good." So Korea is a market where celebrity influence is actually the ultimate currency. And yeah, you might have noticed if you've ever visited Korea that you'll see billboards and advertisements plastered with K-pop idols, actors, actresses from K-dramas, all holding a bottle like this, something like that, or eating some ice cream like this, or having some Pringles like this. And you know, that's very lame marketing in my perspective, but because Korea just glorifies visuals and idols and celebrities, when Chang Won-young is holding a cup of coffee, it means a lot. And yeah, when BTSV is holding Coca-Cola, it means a lot, right? So yeah, that was the start of it. I've Chang Won-young introduced it through her live stream, and people it wasn't like a recognizable brand back then, and they did some research on it, and apparently it was pretty popular in the Chinese region in Asia, right? So yeah, that's how it all started. There was this funny post over here. If you go over here, I'll translate it for you. My experience visiting the Yongsan Chaji. Uh, Number one, I think it would have been even better to just go to China back and forth. You can go to Daejeon in 1 hour by plane. So even if I went to China round trip and got that tea and sipped that tea and came back, it would have been faster than lining up in Yongsan. That's true. That's very true. Number two, it says, "Oh yeah, the tea leaves are very just rich and it has a very rich fragrance and it's very alive. So yeah, please make a perfume out of it or something." And apparently the cake lineup was very good too. The Earl Grey Gâteau Chocolat was only $6, and the Royal Milk Tea Cake was only $6 as well too. So if you're curious, I don't know if you guys have chaji in your regions. Is it in America? Have you ever been to a chaji before? But yeah, like if you're interested, you can go check it out. Last time I went, I just tried the milk tea and it was all right. Yeah, let me know what you think about Chaji. Uh yeah. What? Okay. My favorite Chaji drink is the Boya milk tea. Okay, I'll need to try that. China milk tea is better than Starbucks. Okay. Um let's see. Lining up 3 hours just for tea is near peak late stage capitalism. Okay. That's today's thumbnail right there. Changwon-young, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I love Earl Grey, so good. I've never seen it in this boring village. I haven't heard of them. I have Chaji at least once a week. Yeah, apparently it's very famous in the Asian market. So, yeah, as it's expanding overseas now, I would not be surprised if you'll be seeing some pop-ups here and there in LA or New York by this year or next year. Yeah, so anyways, to look Chang Won-young started this whole chain reaction, but then who actually started it? Ironically, maybe Chaji wasn't didn't have that much
Not
budget,
sure if I did
but
this right, but you
they
could just claim.
hired a
Nanjing
different
인생에서
ambassador for
승리하고
their
win.
opening,
Whenever you
which
get a super
was
chat or other,
Seolyun from
rolling on the floor
NMIX.
laughing
I mean, she
emoji,
is a visual
rolling on the
queen as
floor
well too.
laughing
She's one
emoji,
of the
rolling on the
Changka
floor laughing
Seolyu,
emoji.
Chang
Daily
Won-young,
affirmation you have.
Seolyun, Karina, Yuna from ITZY. Changka Seolyu are the holy fornity. What do you call Trinity in four? They are the holy fornity of K-pop idol visuals, and yeah, she looks very pretty over here. She's just celebrating the opening of the first Chaji brand in Korea. So yeah, it was a big festival. Hey, thank you so much for the super chat. 감사합니다. Not sure if I did right, but I did this right, but you could just claim 나는 인생에서 승리하고 있다 whenever you get a super chat or other. Daily affirmation, yeah? Oh, that's very healthy. Yeah, you're winning every day. 난 인생에서 승리하고 있다. That's a little bit too long, so maybe I'll think of something that comes from out that. But thank you so much. In Manila, there are Chaji too, but the Libe line is not that long here, unlike there in Korea. Yeah, I think it's gonna die down soon. It's just like the hype. I'm gonna explain something similar. Apparently, there are some in California, according to their website. Okay. Mm-hmm. David's bingo card: Korea, China, and stocks all mentioned. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, okay, to go on, to go on. So at this point, it's not just about tea. We see this with everything in Korea. Like, remember the Dubai chewy cookies, like the tuchonku? Yeah, like that nightmare still lives on. Everyone was lining up for tuchonku, and it's like pistachio cream, toasted kadaif, and marshmallow all mashed together. It became a national obsession, and people started lining up for hours for this shit. There were even like what do you call these? Announcements for Duchongku lines? That's crazy. And then apparently this bakery was reportedly making 2.5 billion won per month just selling Tuchonku. That's nearly $2 million just off this one trend. So I guess it pays off these trends, right? And then after Tuchonku, everyone was getting tired of this freaking Tuchonku. And then it turned into butter duck, duck. Started in Seongsu-dong, and it's like this rice cake. It's duck, right? It's chewy with this Western baking technique merged into it to be crispy on the outside and elastic on the inside. And I've tried one of these. It's just I don't know. It tastes like chewy Castera donuts or something like that. Yeah, anyways, but you can see like the Shinsegae department store or Paris Baguette, everyone is just hopping onto the trend. Yeah, like Idia Coffee made their own line of buttered duck and Dubai chewy cookies. So all these corporates are jumping onto these trends as well too. Um, yeah, so we even had like Dubai Chewy Cookie maps being made as app services, and there were like limits per person in line. They could only buy 10 pieces of tuchonku. So yeah, once I was just walking in the Hannam region and I saw this poster saying, "Oh, we sell butter duck, butter rice cakes." And I was curious. I was like, "Oh, okay." Like I am not intentionally looking for butter duck or anything, but I've heard of the trend, and since there seems like there's no line over there, let me just go in and try it out. So I went in eagerly to try out the butter duck. I asked the barista, like, "Oh, can I get some butter duck?" And she said, "Oh, it's all sold out. Like, you can't come now and ask for it." It was like 3 p.m. and she was like, "Yeah, people came at like 8 a.m. and it's all sold out." So yeah, I underestimated the Korean trend savvy people. But yeah, trends be mad in Korea. I'm telling you, this is like a first-hand experience. The cookie obsession is something I don't quite get. It can't be that good. It is not that good. It is not that good. Aloha from Oahu, Hawaii. Hello. How long does a trend last in Korea? So, a trend starts very fast, it blows up, and everyone's just on to it for like, I would say, probably a month. A month is the window for a trend to start, and it booms for like 2 to 3 weeks. That's like its peak. All these magazines and all these Instagram accounts jump on it, the media jumps on it, and they make it like a phenomenon. Maybe it's because we're just such a safe society and there's no news. It's a slow news society and there's nothing to be reported about. So people are just talking about butter duck and dujonku. I don't know. But then after a month, people get tired of it because, like, initially, though, I do have to say, disclaimer, um, Korean people aren't all dumb. A lot of people, because I report about these things, like these trends, people think, oh, they're so herd mentality. They're all sheep. They're like the Pied Piper rats just following them. They'll drive down them on a cliff and, they'll die for all these trends and all that. People are not like that. Korea is actually a very intelligent nation. We make semiconductors and shit. But yeah, we are very highly educated. But obviously, it's a fraction of these people. And also, it becomes a trend. And it's just a very small country and very connected to each other. And maybe, people are looking for some new stimulation or whatever. But I'm gonna try to explain it culturally as much as possible in the latter half of this piece. But yeah, a lot of people actually loathe this kind of behavior, including myself. If you look at every single tuchonku or buttered duck or what was it we're talking about, chaji milk tea article, you'll see all the comments are like, low life people, jobless. I would never do that. I don't understand these people. Aren't they embarrassed, ashamed of themselves? All of them say the same stuff. So even in Korea, while the trend and the lining up is present, it's not the majority. Maybe these people that are initially criticizing those people get why just whirled into these trends, and they're like they can't resist because you know how everyone was like, oh, MBTI is so fucking stupid, and then everyone ends up actually talking about it because like everyone's talking about it and you feel like left out, so you just give up. And yeah, you just submit into the trend. But yeah, um I will totally do it as a person with a job. Okay. Not gonna lie, my Korean friend said that too. He hates hypercapitalism stuff. Singaporeans are the kings of queuing. All right. Yeah, actually, you know what? When I was in, where was that place? It was Bugis, and it was like a very central mall or something. There was this new fast food store that was opening that day, and I saw a huge line. I was like, it was an American fast food store. I don't remember what brand it was, but yeah, it was something new that wasn't in Korea yet, and a so big line over there. So it's not just Korea, not just Korea. It's business, some trends and crowds, or marketing. Yes. Oh well. Okay, let's try to get into the culture side of it, like some kind of history over here. So apparently in 1988, when the first McDonald's opened in Apgujeong, it was the lead story on national news. I mean, 1988, that's like a long time ago. And McDonald's coming in is pretty big, even in my standards in 1988. So a Big Mac set back then cost about 3,001, which is like $2. Wow, inflation, right? Which was triple the price of a normal Korean meal at that time. So that means a normal Korean meal was only like 50 cents or $1. But inflation, right? So people lined up because eating a burger was a way to feel globally connected after the Olympics. So you see a little bit of cultural and historical context here, right? McDonald's timed it right. After the 88 Olympics, where Seoul was rejoicing and so celebrative towards like, oh, we're now becoming a global city and foreigners are finally coming in, McDonald's just launched its first store in Apgujeong, which is like the richest area, and yeah, like eating a hamburger was we're getting global, right? So that was 1988. And then in 1999, we got the first Starbucks opening up in Ewha Women's University, where all the intelligent and fashionable women went to. And it introduced this third place concept. It was a premium space to exist outside of home and work. So suddenly everyone wanted to become that stylish person sitting with this green mermaid cup. And now we have Starbucks on literally every corner of every district. You'll be super surprised. I've seen so many foreigner friends walk in the streets of Gangnam or Yeoksam or any kind of office area, and they just see like I'm I've been seeing Starbucks in every corner and in every building, and I literally went to a Starbucks and I'm sitting at a window right now, and across me there's another Starbucks. Yes. So that's a very common scene nowadays. And you'll see like three-story buildings of Starbucks. Last time I went to Jeju, like 2 weeks ago, I saw one of these architectural masterpieces with a drive-through, and it was a Starbucks. Although I just ran in just to piss. Um, yeah. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, that's some cultural history over there. Starbucks and McDonald's. I'll give that the pass. You know, it's 1988 and 1999. Like we were developing back then and we wanted that validation and we wanted to become global citizens. So Starbucks and McDonald's is pretty iconic. Now, we proceed into 2016. Well, let's fast forward. Like I'm pretty sure there would have been a lot of trends and all that, but I can't relate to that shit. But 2016, there was the first Shake Shack that landed in Gangnam. I remember this because I was in college. I was in university, and more than 1,500 people were waiting overnight in the heat. Look at this picture. It's a Shake Shack. Ironically, that Shake Shack is now out of business. Nobody goes there, so it's out of business. And in 2023, Five Guys came to Gangnam. No difference. It broke sales records for the entire Asia Pacific region in its first week. I remember covering this with Anna, I think. Yeah, we talked about this or something. People were lining up to get that Five Guys hamburger. And yeah, of course, there's like a lot of YouTubers, but there's actually a lot of passionate people that want to be first and put it up on their Instagram stories and be the first to talk about it with their friends. There are a lot of reporters as well too, so it's a mix of all of that. So yeah, respect to the people who are doing it for their own profession, right? But yeah, sometimes Korea gets overboard on these lining ups and open runs. And, if you go to department stores nowadays, if they have a new drop of Supreme or Louis Vuitton or Celine or any of those luxury brands, or a new collab between Uniqlo and Jacquemus or all these high-end brands, like, people will line up. And I think 50%, more than half of them, will be resellers. So they're doing it for the money. So valid reason, I would say. But there are actually fashionable people, hype beasts, that want to get their hands on those new clothes. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's not a trend. And the fact that people flock over these new drops on platforms like Cream, and you can actually see the supply and demand. The supply and demand chart goes up, 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 and the prices just go parabolic. It means that people do like those kind of hype beast and trendy outfits, right? So I don't see the appeal of these things, but I guess it's a fun distraction at the moment. We all do this. Yeah, it's the same for Labubus. What was that stupid thing? Like those toys, Pokemon cards. Yeah. Um, and it's like when the new iPhone comes out, people used to line up for hours for that too. Yeah, but okay, not to be discriminative towards trends, but a hamburger and a phone is kind of different. I mean, your life will not change for getting the first iPhone. You'll probably be able to buy it in like 3 weeks as well too. So actually, I don't understand why people want it so bad on the first day, unless if they're like tech YouTubers or anything. But yeah, I think like getting dolls or toys or hamburgers is kind of different with maybe iPhones that have a lot of practical usages. Maybe it's the same. I don't know. Isn't Chipotle opening in Korea soon? Yes. I don't know if there's gonna be an open run for Chipotle because we've had similar stuff. Yeah. Asian Boss did an episode about these burger chains. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. It's quite embarrassing that we're being displayed like this. But again, not all people are like this. Yeah. Half of them are YouTubers, half of them are reviewers or journalists, and half of them are actually jobless people that really want to get that hamburger stuffed in their mouth. Uh, yeah. Okay. Pop Mart, exactly. Pop Mart. So, yeah, actually, you know what? So, if we go into our culture a little bit, everyone knows about this word, right? It's represented by this one picture. If you come to Korea and you observe the elevator, you will see this in every single elevator. You'll see a bunch of scratches on the closed door. So that means people are very, very impatient and they're in a rush. And that is called the Bali Bali culture. Bali Bali. Hurry, hurry. Right? So Korea is a society that rebuilt itself at light speed. And to us, speed is efficiency, and efficiency is survival. That's just in our DNA now. It's embedded. And if a trend is hot, you got to catch it right now, because in the Korean market, that trend will be dead and buried by the next month. So that's why a lot of people flock to it. There's a bottleneck. Everyone's competing to get the most views, the most clout from it. And there's also, I think, like, oh, before we go on to the next part. So to oh, why am I frozen? Let me There you go. So this is pali pali, the culture of speed in Korea, right? Buses leave as soon as the doors close. Yeah, you'll experience that. Honking just 1 second after the light turns green if the car ahead hasn't moved. Yeah, you'll experience that. Shouting your order before even sitting. Actually, I did that 2 hours ago when I was at Sundubu place. I went in the door, and the service worker was like, "Oh, you can sit over there." And before I even sat, I said like, "Oh, can I get a sogogi sundubu, please?" And then she was like, "Okay." And then she went in straight to the kitchen and started making it. So that's how it works over here. You don't even have to seat yourself before you order. And this is the top 10 Korean bali bali habits voted by foreigners. I thought this was pretty funny, so sharing it with you guys. Number one is reaching into the vending machine for the coffee cup before it arrives. So we have automatic coffee machines with those paper cups, and once we know that the paper cup is going to fall down, so we put our hands in there, and there's no point in actually grabbing it because the coffee is going to drip down, and it's going to take like 10 seconds for the coffee to actually be complete. But we're just holding on to that cup just to pull it out like a nanosecond faster. I really relate to that. Well, I don't know why, but it's in my psychology. And then number two, chasing a bus at a bus stop. Okay, yeah. When a bus arrives, we don't wait. We go in front of the door and wait and stare at the bus driver until he opens the door for us. Number three, unzipping pants before entering the restroom. Very common. I do that. I unzip my pants when I'm in the elevator before I arrive home. Number four, eating pork belly before it's fully cooked. Yeah, obviously. Ramen too. Repeatedly pressing the elevator close button until the door's shut. Yes. Oh, it's such a waste of time, and it's like it feels like infinity when the elevator door doesn't shut. Like it's the most wasted time ever. Number six, opening the 3-minute cup noodle lid and eating it before they're ready. Actually, for this one, I think it tastes even better when it's undercooked. So yeah. Number seven, leaving the movie theater before the credits start to roll. Doesn't everybody do this? I'm sorry to the filmmakers, but like I'm not gonna sit there through the credits. If the movie's over, it's over. We see the black screen, you immediately get up, unless there's a cookie. Yeah, so smart people, the Marvel and them, always put cookies so that we can sit through the credits, right? Number eight, closing a website that hasn't loaded within 3 seconds. Oh my gosh. If a website doesn't load within 3 seconds and it's a business or it's like whatever, it's Nike, or I'm not going to buy that product. No, I'm not waiting 3 seconds. Number nine, brushing teeth while going to the bathroom. Of course. You're going to brush your teeth anyway, so why waste that time while you're going through the hallway? Like, put the toothpaste on and start brushing, right? Number 10, eating food purchased at a store before paying it. Oh, yeah. I think this, eating food purchased at a store before paying it. Huh. I guess it's for situations where you have to pay upfront. So you're at the cashier and you get like a sandwich in front of you. You start eating it or something. I don't know. That's kind of messed up. But yeah, I've seen people at grocery stores drink water before they pay for it, and they go up to the cashier and said like, I was just so thirsty I had to drink it. So yeah. Let's look at your guys' responses. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So it's not only Korean. To be fair, I brush my teeth while taking a piss. Yeah, me too. Might just be me, but as a Canadian, I don't immediately press the elevator close button. I wait to see if anybody is coming in case I need to press the hold open button. Yeah, we do that too, but we just take a peek, and if nobody's there, we're like, yeah. Number 9 is gross. Brushing teeth while going to the bathroom. Why is that gross? Everyone does it here. Oh, wait till you go to a Korean company, like a big company like Samsung, or I don't know, like a big conglomerate where you have hundreds of employees and there's like one big central bathroom in each floor. After lunchtime, you'll see like at least 30 people walking around brushing their teeth and talking to each other and walking to the bathroom in slippers. So, yep, no time to waste. Um yeah, okay. So, all right. So, number 3, you wear pants? Of course I wear pants. Dude, what do you mean? Okay, so those are some of the examples of the pali pali culture. If we go on, there are more trends over here. We experienced it with the culinary class wars as well. There was an open run in the digital world. We had reservations open for Napoli Mafia's place, the Via Toledo Pasta Bar, and over 110,000 people tried to book at the exact same time, and it crashed the app for 20 minutes. And people were reselling two-person reservations on the black market for $700 and even tried to flip them double the price. So, yeah, like you can sell reservations to other people in Korea now for double the price. Yeah. And then there was this recent event. Yep, it's Pokemon, and there was a Pokemon Mega Festa in Seongsu recently, and over 40,000 people showed up at noon because they wanted a rare Magikarp card. I don't even know what that is. And it got so crowded that the mobile data networks actually failed, and people couldn't even post their photos, and the police and fire departments had to be called in to manage the crowd. And yeah, that Magikarp free card was being listed on resale sites on Cream for nearly $300 before the sun even went down. So yeah, and apparently the event was canceled because too many people showed up, and yeah, there was a huge safety risk. So yeah, the event had to be postponed or something. Whenever I see these kind of things, well, they're kids, so I understand for this case maybe. But yeah, culturally, I think there's the density. Like Seoul is a very dense city. We live in apartments, we live all close to each other. Everything happens here. Millions and millions of people living on top of each other in their households with the fastest internet, and like a single viral post can actually trigger a synchronized movement across the city in minutes. And it creates this feedback loop of FOMO, fear of missing out. And traditionally, I hate to say this, but in a collectivist culture, participating in a trend is a way to prove that you're kind of normal and culturally sophisticated. So, if everyone has watched Culinary Class Wars or Singles Inferno or this certain drama, and you haven't tried it, you haven't been to the Napoli Mafia place, you haven't tried Tujonku, unfortunately, you're in the odds there, you're in the minority, and you'll be looked down upon from the majority. They'll be like, bro, you haven't even tried Tujonku yet? What are you doing? And then you try to be the cool guy and say like, I actually think the people that like, line up and go crazy for Tujonku they're the ones that are stupid. And they'd be like, okay, whatever you think, cool guy. You think you're better than everyone else, eh? It's not a big deal. You can basically go to Paris Baguette and taste it just like everyone else and talk about it. That's being social. But you try to be that, that lone wolf and think you're better and over everyone else. And yeah, you be you. So that's the response you'll get. if you look down upon these kind of trends. So, yeah, I do think the unique environment of Seoul just definitely triggers a chain reaction, and puts these trends on steroids. The Tuchonku buttered dog and now the Chaji. So it's 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 unique. It's unique. Yeah. And speaking of FOMO though, related to this picture, like we have this constant FOMO of buying a house here because, you know, in Korea the housing market has just gone up forever, and if you don't have a house, you're becoming a lightning beggar. So you're feeling relatively deprived. And now that the house prices are on average $10 million, you can't afford one. So the logic is, oh, well, I can't buy a house, but I can definitely buy a $10 cookie or a premium milk tea. So might as well, right? It's like compensated consumption for you. And yeah, I guess people psychologically try to treat these kind of trends as like a small, reachable luxury that gives us like a little bit of, a sense of ownership and status in a world that feels just increasingly it's expensive and out of reach. So at least you can fit in with the crowd. You might not have a house, but you might have tasted a Dubai chewy cookie. Yeah. Well, I do all those. Okay. So, anyways, all I want to say is next time you see a massive line in front of Chaji or Five Guys in Gangnam for a burger or tea, you don't have to think we're all crazy and stupid people. Like, it's just a community of people that are hyper connected in a hyper capitalistic society. City never stops, and we just want a little bit of joy in this queue because we can't afford houses and we've been feeling FOMO forever, but it's unreachable. So, might as well compensate with Dubai chewy cookies, right? So yeah, and the intellectual way to approach these lines would be we have digital apps now, waiting apps. So never actually go in line. Just check the app and wait, like queue digitally, right? So yeah, indeed, compensated luxury is a huge thing in Korea with everyone wearing logos everywhere. Yes, my advice is always to just wait for the hype to die down before trying. The store is not going to go away. Exactly. Exactly. That's my take. Yep. But then also, like if you are at a company or you go to a sogeting and let's say the MBTI trend has just started and you're so knowledgeable about it and you can talk everything and you can teach everyone about MBTI, what their MBTIs mean, you suddenly become an opinion leader or a trendsetter, early adapter, and you become very more trend savvy. And everyone's talking about Chaji looking at their social media apps during lunchtime and they're like, oh, what's the hype around this, like Changwon-young, what? And they're doing like that, and then they ask you, what do you think? You're like, oh, I actually tried it around over the weekend, and they're like, what, you already tried it? How was it? And you'd be like, oh yeah, the milk tea was good and the tea smelled like this, and everyone's looking at you and they spread your words to their friends, and I heard from my coworker, he said like this and that. So you become like an influencer. I guess that clout is what people want to some extent, right? It's superficial. It doesn't mean anything, but yeah. Uh yeah. So, anyways, that was the news. That was the two pieces I brought today about the trends of Chaji and the relative deprivation of the magic pass in Lotte World. So I hope you enjoyed those ones, and off to the BTS one now. Before I go on, now this is not going to be in the edited clip of KPC clips, but I've been struggling for the past 30 minutes to pronounce this tea brand named Chaji. because it's very similar to a slang word in Korean that means dick. Yeah, literally. It's the equivalent word of dick in Korean is very similar to the pronunciation of chaji. So you need to be very, very careful when you pronounce it. I would say Koreans, I would say if you're a foreigner and you don't know how to pronounce the CH that well, uh, and come to Korea and try to pronounce this, and you maybe ask your friend, 차지 먹어봤어? Have you tried chaji before? Have you eaten or drank chaji before? And you ask your Korean friend, 차지 맛있어? 차지 먹어봤어? That would go very wrong. It sounds like, have you eaten dick before? Have you tried dick? Is dick very delicious? What's the slang word for? It's for dick. So, there are like the dictionary and medical terms like testicle or penis, and then you got the slang words like ding dong or dick, right? So we have those in Korean too. I think the most standard word for Korean, like the medical biological term would be like umgyong or something like that, and we have gochu, which is for red pepper. Gochu would be like a cute term but widely used term. But then we go on to like the slang territory, and then we have Jaji. That Jaji. That means like dick. So, anyways, you would probably have to say chaji milk tea or chaji tea or something like that in order to specify that you're not talking about dick. 차지 먹어봤어요? Oh my gosh. Thinking of like especially to a female. You go to a female friend and say like 차지 먹어봤어? Oh no. They give you this bombastic side eye. Yeah. You want to try chaji? Okay. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So, oh my gosh, it's already been 2 hours. Should slide through the BTS one pretty quick. It's 1 a.m. in the morning. Thanks for warning you. Yeah, this is the information you actually need. Don't come to Korea and point at the Chaji line and say like, "Oh, Chaji line is so long." Anyways, I sometimes think I have the mental age of an elementary school student. 6767. I like the Eyelet new song. Who's your bias? I'm your bias. Who's your bias? I'm your bias. Dun 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 dun. Noon time in America. Just chilling, right? It's a good time for y'all Europeans and Americans. All right. Let's go into the last news of today. Everyone has been waiting for this, right? So, yeah, BTS Mexico, the legends have returned, and they just didn't visit Mexico, but they absolutely dominated. The entire country came to a standstill from the moment they touched down, and they proved that the BTS fever is higher than ever. So, first of all, let's look at some clips over here. Oh my god, the arirang keeps getting louder. So this is a clip from them in Mexico City. So, wow. This is phenomenal. Wow. The fact that national traditional folk song is being chanted and sung by international people all over the world in a world tour of a Korean artist in a rotating circle, and them singing in Korean is just unheard of. Couldn't even think of this happening, and I can't even believe what I'm seeing and hearing right now. It is just phenomenal. Nobody else than BTS could pull this, and it's beyond. I'm just beyond proud. Like, I don't even know what to articulate this feeling is. It feels like I'm in a simulation almost. Like, I can't even process what I'm seeing. Zania, thank you so much for the $20. 감사합니다. 사랑합니다. Thank you. But yeah, LFG, you know? Mexico is their second home now, exactly. You know, over 40K army gathered at the outside stadium. They can fill another stadium, actually. Yes, I've seen the videos. It's been really crazy. Look at this. Look at the energy over here. Look at this video. Wow. So look at this. Okay, the cameraman did them a little bad, but you can just feel the energy, right? Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. Now that's a stadium I'd like to be in. No offense to the Koyang fam, but if Busan concert doesn't deliver like that energy, you know, we got to do better. We can't lose in our home ground. It's going to be very hard to top that energy. But yeah, did you see those ajumas, the Mexican ajumas doing the ha 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 with their mouths fully open? Now, yeah, Mexico mucho picante. Exactly. Quoting V's words. And then this is them. This is them in the palace, right? We all saw this. Wow. This is like a Beatles moment. Look at the crowd. Look at that gorgeous palace and Jimin's gorgeous hair and V, Jungkook, everyone looking so good. Recognition from the Mexican government. Wow.
Thank you very much for coming.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Gracias. Gracias. Muchas gracias.
Wow, so polite too. JK at the end. Did you see him bowing? Beatles, Michael Jackson's BTS, let's go. Yeah, so as you can see over here, they got a royal invitation and a presidential meeting, and they got the royal treatment with an official invitation from the president herself to the National Palace, the heart of Mexican the Mexican people. And yeah, they actually had like a formal reception with the president for I think 40 minutes to discuss the power of youth and culture. And yeah, you could just see them being treated as like a cultural ambassador with the diplomatic weight of world leaders than just pop stars. So big respect and appreciation towards the Mexican president. I think her name was Claudia something. Yes. It was, what is it? I want to pronounce her name properly, right? Mexico 대통령. Claudia Sheinbaum. Claudia Sheinbaum. Yes, that's the name of the Mexican president. And she's the one that said before, Claudia Sheinbaum, president. She's the one that wanted BTS to come additional dates. And she actually urged the Korean Ministry of Foreign Affairs or the president, the prime minister, to make that happen or something. And yeah, at the end, she actually invited them to the palace and gave them a tour and gave them that special opportunity to look over the window at the balcony of the palace. And army from all around Mexico gathered. And look at this scene over here. This is just crazy. Look at this. Mexican army ready for BTS. Look at that sight. So, I don't know. It differs from media report to report. Okay, I'm frozen again. Sorry. There you go. So, yeah, if you look at this crazy, crazy sight from the balcony, reportedly, this public square is called Zocalo. Over 100,000 fans packed the space so densely that the crowd spilled into the surrounding streets. And yeah, reportedly, you know, they registered like I think this is an exaggeration, but on local seismographs because of the stomping of the feet and the noise. But yeah, some people say it was 100,000. Some people say it was like 550,000. But that doesn't matter because like just witnessing this with your own eyes. Like look at this. It's a massive, massive plaza, and yeah, I do think it would be over 100,000. Holy shit! That is crazy. And the fact that not a lot of media reports are highlighting is that this was almost a spontaneous announcement. They didn't pre-plan this or pre-announce it the day before or a week before or anything. They announced this on social media 5 hours before the event. Just 5 hours before, and that many people showed up. It just truly shows you how influential BTS is and how hungry the people of Mexico were to see BTS in person. It was literally under a 5-minute appearance on the balcony, and they could only see them as like little pebbles. They, yeah, but the love that the Mexican army showed, it's going to be cherished forever. This is going to be archived. And Korean people watching this, I've looked at so many comments and they're all like, "Wow, I didn't know BTS was this big. This is some crazy level shit. This is actually like the Beatles or Michael Jackson. There's no other artist in the world, even if they're like world famous, Spotify top whatever. They appear on a Mexican palace balcony with the president. That itself is an achievement. But the amount of people that just gathered to see them inside for this, no other artist than the Beatles, Michael Jackson, and BTS could pull this off. I agree full-heartedly to that sentence. But yeah, Korean people finally got the chills and they understand, holy shit, BTS is really big. Now, they've always known about the Billboard Top 100s and the world tours and the filling the stadiums and all that, but to normal people that don't give a F about K-pop or BTS or whatever, it was always just like, a news report showing like, stadiums, and they're like, yeah, all K-pop stars do stadium tours and arenas or whatever. We've seen those kind of footages. And yeah, we've heard about K-pop being pretty popular since Gangnam Style from like 10 years ago. And it's been going on for a while. Oh yeah, BTS is an anomaly from what I heard. They're super popular, right? But they didn't have like a visual representation of just hitting them directly with stimulation itself. And this one, like them seeing, like them, the picture, the optics of it is just perfect. They get the best respect and honor being invited officially to a presidential palace office by the president herself and having the honor to go on the balcony with her, and in a plaza, as a significant place in Mexico, filling that up with 100,000 people, yelling like crazy and greeting them just for those 5 minutes. Yeah, that sight just really changed a lot of minds. And I'm very happy because, you know, during the Kongamun performance, now this was the triggering part. When BTS came back with their Arirang album and their comeback, they had a special show with Netflix, a live stream at Gwanghwamun, which is also like the equivalent of this plaza in Korea, in Seoul, at the center of it. And the police hyped it up, saying like, "Oh, there's gonna be 250,000 people gathering for the BTS concert, the show. So everybody should be very careful. So we need to be very, very careful and put all the safety measures we can." So police, special forces, firefighters, politicians were all on the edge, and we prepared flawlessly about it. And everyone was reporting about it for like a week and 2 weeks. And more and more people started getting annoyed by it, saying like, "Oh, it's such a nuisance, it's so uncomfortable, like it's so inconvenient. Why do they have to rent out a public space and do this? It's all for themselves at the end of the day, it's all for Netflix. I don't even care. I want to go to the library. Oh, I had a medical checkup that day. I wanted to go to the palace. I had a wedding there. Why do they have to do it there? Why can't they just get a stadium and do it?" And then it actually happened. It was grand and it was a very big success, but because of the high control and the highly inflated numbers and the media scaring off people, saying that it's going to be like very crowded, people like me who were watching the Netflix live stream at home didn't attend. I decided not to go because I was afraid that I would be trapped there and I'd probably not be able to come home until like midnight or something might happen. So yeah, a lot of people just decided to pass off on that one offline. And like if you see the individual media or the live streams from YouTubers that were not accepted in that Gwanghwamun strip, you could go to City Hall. There was a massive gathering there. It all flowed down to Myeongdong, and a lot of people that wanted to go in were actually rejected by the police and the barricades because they said it was fully the capacity was fully charged, so nobody else could go in. So yeah, what could have been like a huge, huge, huge gathering had a lot of multiple factors and a lot of media play, a lot of restraints, and because of that, visually it didn't seem as packed, and a lot of those haters or antis or just jobless people who can't just admit that BTS is like a national hero and cultural ambassador that's bringing so much economic and cultural value to our country. These people were like, "Ha ha, BTS, they suck, they're all, washed out now. Their songs suck. That's why nobody came." And, everyone said 250,000, but there's only like 10,000 or 20,000. Yeah, like I think other idols could pull that off too. All that fuss for this, oh, what was all that for? I feel so bad for the couples that had a wedding there. Hybe was just filling up their greed. All these negative buzz went on, and I can say that I was super super angry, and I wanted to like reply to every single one of them saying like, "You don't know shit about how impactful and influential and how big BTS is. You are the one trapped in your own bubble, and you probably are benefiting off of their impact globally. I don't know, like indirectly, probably economically because tourism is booming, or where you are going outside of Korea and people recognize Korean people as like in a positive manner. Yeah, you're probably reaping the benefits of their effort, and you're the one that's like spitting on their faces. So disgraceful and so uneducated and so clueless. But like I you're powerless against like those mobs on the comment section, and everyone just like upvotes those kind of comments. So I was so stressed. But after this happened in Mexico, and this was widely published in the news for days up till now too, people are like, okay, maybe, yeah, you know, like they weren't so off with the numbers and the estimations. Maybe it was the police that was the fault, and maybe it was like, you know, people kind of scared to not go out, and, you know, maybe I misjudged. Of course, those people that were barking, they'd be silent. But I know for sure that they're in their houses and they're like, they don't want to admit it. They're probably like salty about it. They're like, yeah, but still BTS, you know, it's just, you know, a bunch of girls and, you know, blah, 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 blah. They're probably doing like that in their houses, but like looking at this, it's just hard to not actually recognize their impact and how big they are and how popular they are. And this is just one country. This is just Mexico. And it's one region of it. And I bet these people didn't even see like the concert footages of like El Paso and Mexico City, like them sitting Arirang, and also Tampa, and also like Tokyo. Japanese people singing Arirang? That's crazy. So, yeah, again, I don't even know what kind of world I'm living in right now, but these haters really need to get a life. I don't know why I froze again. But these haters really need to get a life. And I'm glad that BTS just proved them wrong. It was a big FU in their faces. And Tae was just amazing to prepare something like this. He's prepared something in the Spanish language. Did you miss us? That's so sweet, isn't it?
La energía aquí es increíble. Muchas gracias por amarnos tanto. Nos vemos la próxima vez. Adiós.
Adiós. México, mucho picante.
Hola, México.
Hola, Mexico. Oh. RM said some words too.
We are BTS. Muchas gracias for having us.
Oh, look at the crowd. Listen to the crowd.
And we can't wait for tomorrow's concert and stage. Let's have fun tomorrow!
Wow.
Te amo, te quiero, muchas gracias.
Wow.
México,
Every
mucho
time
picante.
every time he says a sentence, the crowd goes crazy.
I love you, Ami. Te amo.
Te amo. Wow. So, yeah, that's a world star over there, you know. They really did well to prepare a fully Spanish reading script. And although probably the pronunciation and everything was not to like a very smooth level, it's the thought that matters, and the execution itself, it was very cute and it was very heartwarming to see. And every every single line, I don't even know if they actually heard it on site, like what he was saying. It's probably like he says something and they go crazy, you know, right? But yeah, like you could see it afterwards in the video, so the message was sent and delivered. So that was very, very sweet of Taehyung to speak Espanol, and RM to mix in a little bit of words there. So that's being very respectful, giving it back to the fandom. So yeah, this is the most iconic photo ever. Look at this. Them looking like kings over there, and look at the crowd. Holy shit. Wow. This is an AI. This is not AI. Wow. This is crazy. This is like a Time magazine photo or something. A photo of the year. Yeah, and the president holding their album, their vinyl. Them looking all sleek, all good. Oh my gosh, look at this. Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. That one Jungkook poster. Okay, wow. Wow, I can't believe that so many people came up. I'm June with the mustache over here. Yeah. Thank you, Mexico. Thank you for being so welcoming and supportive to our BTS members. Oh, they got a One Piece, illustration there. So yeah. Oh, why is the cam freezing so much? Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mexico, for being so warming and welcoming to the members. And I feel like they would have had a lot of feelings. And I think all their anxieties and concerns that they uh, addressed during the documentary before the comeback, that would have all been flushed away with this one single moment. You know how they were like, oh, we were so uncertain and unsure uh, about our comeback, whether, our fans might have left us or not, or something like that. Oh, yeah. After seeing this, I think, yeah, all their negative thoughts would have been flushed away. So yeah, I hope their world tour has just started. So I hope they receive the equivalent amount or increasing amount of love wherever they go into other countries, other cities as well too. Yeah, they're coming to Busan in a bit, in 1 month. So I'm gonna be there on the 12th. I'm very excited for that. And they're going to be in Jimin and JK's home city, which is also my hometown as well. So it's going to be more iconic. Unfortunately, I didn't get their actual debut date, but one day before it, it's good enough. Probably there's going to be a special stage. Really, really hyped for it. Um, this time it was actually pretty easy to get the ticket. Not because it wasn't competitive, I was just skilled. I already did it one time and I knew how to do it. I was just very patient, took a deep breath. I didn't even like spam the clicks. I was just like a sniper mode. Like, okay, got in the queue. Okay, I was in like 20,000th or something. That means I probably can get floor seats, but I'm just gonna sit because I'm an old man and I don't want to like, there I saw some reviews that a lot of people hold their cameras too much, so it blocks reviews. Or sometimes I'm a tall guy, but I didn't want to take the chances. But anyways, yeah, I got a good second floor seat. I think I planned out where I wanted to sit. Like I looked at all the vlogs and saw like which place has the best view. Um, went accordingly as I planned. So yeah, I'm going to the concert. A lot of my friends are going to the concert as well too. Tammy is going, our past editor from DKDK. She's going. Yeah, so I'm very lucky, and oh my gosh, you know, uh, I'm watching old clips of BTS nowadays when they were being mentioned or interviewed on like late night shows and stuff. And even then, I'm like reliving those moments like 6 years ago, 4 years ago. Um, it was unimaginable even then. Like I thought that was the pinnacle. I thought that was the peak. But yeah, they just proved everyone wrong, and they're just like becoming bigger and bigger and bigger with this comeback. So yeah, I'm just so glad they shut down all the Kwangmun critics and the antis. The skeptics are all proven wrong. The debate is officially over, and I'm just like very sad that some people in Korea just don't want to admit the success they have and the beneficial effects they are bringing to the country. Um, Maybe because some of these people are, struggling in their own manners, and they are relatively deprived, and they feel like, celebrities are a detached world from them and they want someone to hate on. But yeah, like these people really not to BTS. No, you can't do it to BTS. Yeah, so I think they're the best diplomats in Korean history. And you remember I told you in the BTS Gwanghwamun essay video about Kim Gu, the national activist, independence activist during the Japanese colonial era, where he made his speech about his equivalent to the Martin Luther King speech, where he said he only dreams of the infinite power of cultural power. He doesn't want military power or anything. He just wants Korea to shine like a beacon in the world with its cultural power and content like this. And yeah, Kim Gu even appears in BTS's song in Arirang. I forgot which one. Was it Faya? But yes, I think he'd be very, very proud if there is an afterlife. Yes. Yeah. BTS made Korean men more desirable around the world. I don't even care about desirable. Okay, that's a great effect, but it's just like pure representation itself. Yeah. I think it elevated like the Asian status as a whole. Not even Korean. Korean for sure. But yeah, they're just affecting so many young minds, and they're shifting the mindsets of different cultures, and they're breaking all the stereotypes and barriers, language barriers as well too, with Arirang, right? People learning Korean. Who would have thought that people around the world would learn Korean? A nation that only has like 48 million people in population. Yeah, that's crazy. Yep, I'm gonna enjoy the Busan show. This come from the Mexican president that asked the Korean to intervene with BTS to consider adding more consents in Mexico. Yes, I saw that. And back then, a lot of people, I even heard from the Mexican side that, some people were criticizing her, but at the end, it turned out into a great result. Yes. I'm so grateful for Mexico's warm welcome. They killed it. Yeah. BTS being BTS. I've spawned. What's up, David? We were just talking about the phenomenal greetings in Mexico. You saw this, right? The crazy plaza appearance of BTS and their Mexico leg of the tour. And them singing like Arirang and everything all together. Like, yeah, that's just crazy. This was karma for BTS antis downplaying the Gwanghwamun concert. Yes. David loves that he's hot because of BTS. Am I? Am I? Oh, it was aliens. Yes, it was aliens. Yep. David, as Chinese Latina, I can tell you that BTS has raised awareness about Asian cultures in a positive way. For sure, yeah. The shows and the reception in Mexico were fire. Crazy turnout, exactly. Yeah, it's something unfathomable in the past. Yeah, this doesn't seem real to me. Yeah, speaking of, there's this new series. I'll show you. Oop. So, yeah, just a little promo here. So, this new show, this new CNN original serise.
Kim. Nice to meet you. Actor, producer, and proud Korean American.
Lee Byung-hun's on there.
I'm going to South Korea, where I was born.
It's exactly what I remember as a kid.
To figure out how this small nation conquered the
Tommy's
world
on
with its
it.
culture.
I saw your move.
Psy's on it.
And it's only getting started. That's gonna get people up out of their seat.
Yeah, the
From the music that
producers,
fueled the movement
all day
we
project,
love you.
to your
meow,
new favorite food,
K food.
Suck it out.
That's savage.
viral beauty trends,
Yep, beauty, K food.
Beauty standards in
Looks fun, right?
and the phenomenon.
May 9th on
So this is out, and you know who else is on it? David Kim's on it. So go check it out, right? Yeah, it's crazy how far our Korean culture has come, and I would say BTS is at the forefront of it. They paved the way, definitely. Yeah, so very, very thankful to BTS and all the other contributors as well too, obviously, that, you know, appear in this documentary. Parasite, Psy, you know, K-pop Demon Hunters, our food, you know, everything. K everything. Yeah, go watch K everything. Thank you. So I'm gonna be on there. I don't know how much I'm in there. Maybe I'm all edited out. Who knows? But it's an honor to be on such uh, a recognizable film, a documentary, right? So, yep. It's a different show from Anna's. Yeah. Sponsored by Hyundai. David, if this wins an Oscar, will you be there? No. No. I wish. You know, I had a chance though. The producer did say, oh, am I supposed to say this stuff? No, it's probably under NDA. No, actually, you know what? Like, I had the chance to meet some of the people that appear in the documentary, like the artists, because like the filming schedule was very back to back. And I heard like just the day before, Daniel, he met, you know, some artists, and I was like, if I had asked to the producer, you know, oh, can I tag along? I could have met some of them probably. I've been on a few productions, and even if you've been edited out, it's still a great opportunity to have been a part of. Yes, I hope. Hopefully, there's some parts of me. I have already seen myself in the trailer, so yeah, at least I got that one line. In the trailer, I say, what did I say? Like, you never know the ceiling or something like that. It's uncharted territory for K-pop. Yeah. So yes, BTS indeed is just elevating Korea's status to a whole different level, and Mexico just proved all the haters wrong and shoved a big F you in their face, and I am super happy about that. I'm so looking forward to their next legs in their tour. I'm just wishing for their health, and yeah, no accidents happening or anything. Yeah, they could be very tired, so probably they need some good rest in between. I did see Jin and Jimin at like a Mexican wrestling game today, and Jin was like having the time of their life. So yeah, I think they're having good times in the middle of their tours. Yeah, they were in Tokyo, and they were doing a lot of Pokemon stuff. So yeah, I think they're enjoying the world tour that too, like meeting their armies in the concerts, and in the free time going to the local cuisines and having some chill time and experiencing the culture over there too. So yeah, it's good for them. It's good for the fans. So more world tours, please. Yes, it's fun. It's actually leaked that they're going to do an encore stage at in Korea. So that's one more additional date if you want to. If you had like an emergency and you couldn't attend one of these concerts, or your financial status wasn't just good in this timing, you can always aim for probably like the end of this year or next year even, because V already leaked that there is a plan for an encore date in Seoul. So yeah, there you go. Yes. All right. Good to see you. And yeah, it's been quite a long time since I've streamed this. So I'm gonna call it a day over here too. It's almost 2 a.m. Today's a Monday already, so I gotta get up early at 8 a.m. to ride the stock market again and pray that my Hype stocks rebound so that I don't become a lightning beggar and I don't feel relatively deprived. But yeah, so it was fun talking to you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Just note that if you go to the KPC Clips channel, you'll be able to see the extract version of the live streams in segments under like 15 minutes per video. So go subscribe there if you don't have time to watch all the 2-hour sessions. And probably useless saying that right now because yeah, if you've made it this far, it means that you've watched the whole thing. But just letting you guys know again, go to KPC Clips over here, new channel. Oh, we got 10 more subscribers. All right. But you can see the, the clips over here, right? So yeah, and yeah, be more active in the chat so that I can highlight your comments like this over here, and you can be included in the clips. Just for that, if you want to become a member, yeah, you can join the membership like this, like Xenia has. Membership gold placard there with a cheese on it. And yeah, Nat Page, thank you for loving my voice. Thank you everyone for sending me support today via PayPal or Super Chat. Did I miss any? Let me just check. Oh yeah, Fallen Star, thank you for joining the membership. Yeah, thank you everybody. And just go check out Patreon if you have some time, because there's a lot of content over there. As I told you, we have the watch parties. BTS Run watch parties are coming, I promise you. Once I get the time, I'll binge view all of them. Watch it together. The more the merrier, right? And then we have newsletters coming, weekly newsletters. And of course, you get to see the inside life of David Kim through his exclusive podcast over here, where I talk about more personal stuff and the direction of the channel and stuff like that. So yeah, you get podcasts like this, clean slates and messy breakups. Yes, be the judge. The honest truth about my recent breakup and the fight that ended it all that kind of stuff. So add in your voices. Chris and Sarah, thank you for commenting on the Patreon post. Yeah, let me just leave a link over here and in the chat. All right. So please do go check out Patreon if you want to support the channel. All right, guys. Hey, Stellar, thank you for subscribing. And yeah, more than 60% of the viewers that are watching my channel haven't subscribed to KPC yet. So please do subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything, right? And you can catch these lives. You can chat with me. So hopefully you guys have a wonderful week ahead of you, and get some good stuff. Do good stuff for your moms out there, and let's enjoy the BTS content that's coming. And I'll see ya.